Welcome to the Females Across the Pond and Beyond podcast. Hi, I'm Clara.
Hi, I'm Angie. We're here to share all things email and beyond. We go through the trials and tribulations of running your own business, being your own boss, and sending your own email marketing.
As email marketing experts, we're dedicated to helping small businesses thrive so they can have more freedom in their business.
Ready to get started? Let's dive into the episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our episode. Today, we're going to be talking about AI, all about AI. So before we delve into that, I'd love to know how you're doing, Angie. How are things?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing so well. There's a lot going on, like work-wise and personal-wise, because it's warm out, warmer. And so there's a lot to do, with the kids. And then also like work-wise, I've been hosting a free challenge with one of my good friends. And we've gotten a lot of people into the free challenge, which has been really exciting. And so, just been hustling online on Instagram, on the acquisition channels. And coincidentally, have almost doubled my email list, even though it's super small to begin with. But we were just talking about how now I have to introduce a whole slew of new people into my email list and, not get them to not mass unsubscribe or mass spam complaint me. So I have to come up with a strategy, outside of what we're doing with the challenge, if they're going to be on my email list, to welcome them in and offer them a way out if they want. And yeah, so, usually I do those strategies for my clients, not for myself. So it's kind of fun to experience that. What about you? What's
Cool.
been going on?
That's really cool. I had a couple of days off last week, which I really enjoyed. It was nice to just switch off from the business. And I think it's important as small business owners that we do take that time. We take well-being time. So I really enjoyed it. So
And
I
it
was
and it was
okay.
your birthday. Let's not just skip over that.
Yeah, it was my birthday and it was just so nice to celebrate. And I think you've got to do these things, right? It's important that you do take time for yourself and actually it isn't all about the business. So yeah, I think it was just so lovely to have some time off, to go on a boat ride, to go to a spa, just to see friends, spend time with people. And yeah, I think we need to do more of that as small business owners. We need to make sure that we are prioritizing our health and well-being. So
Yeah,
yeah, feeling good after that.
I have a actual friend who was also in the same program oh no, I don't think she was in the same program that we met in, but also in that like world where she's
Mhm.
thinking about doing a membership that helps women business owner include more self-care into like our regular lives,
It's a good
like
idea.
taking
Yeah.
I actually did a research interview with her. Like she wanted to interview me and talk to me about like what I need help with as far as taking time off for myself. And I was like, I need something that's feasible that I can do continuously. So like every month I have like a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend somewhere so that it is
Mhm.
ongoing, because I need ongoing self-care and I need breaks. It's not like, because her whole thing is she used to be like all about taking like sabbaticals or like long vacations. And I'm like, I don't necessarily need like a long vacation. I think I need more time throughout the year that I'm making sure I'm taking off like more consistently. I think that would have a bigger impact on how I am like throughout the year. I don't know.
Yeah, I need that. I think it's just we get so wrapped up in our business that we forget. And having those regular small time periods of time off is really important. And I think that I think, when you work in a corporate environment, you get reminded to take your leave, otherwise you lose it. It's much more something that you're reminded of. Whereas when you're your own HR department, like you have to remind yourself to take holiday. So here's me
Mhm.
giving you all permission to take some time off for sure. It'll do the world of good. Um, and before you go off on your leave, why not listen to this podcast? So today we're going to be talking about AI Unwrapped. And what does that mean for you as small business owners? And what does that mean for how you use AI when it comes to email marketing? So really huge benefits arise from using AI, not just within email marketing. And Angie and I are going to step through what that looks like in a moment. But, some of the big benefits are seeing improvements in efficiency, getting more work done, um, getting help with ideas and content. It can be used for so many things. And we want to talk today about how actually you can reduce the overwhelm, because there's a lot out there when it comes to AI, but then also how do you actually implement these strategies, and how, what does this mean for your business? And that's what we want to get into today's episode. So let's dive in then in terms of the rise of AI for small businesses. Andrew, do you want to kick us off with defining what you think AI is, and like your definition and its role in email marketing?
Yeah, to me, like AI is really a tool that we can use to speed up the process of our email marketing, and anywhere from like strategizing our sends to in a sense email creation. But it's not something that is going to take over the whole process for us, meaning like taking over all of our copywriting, all of our designing of emails. We want it to act more as like our assistant as we are creating or coming up with the strategies and creating content for this. But yeah, that there is a fine line of, we're not having AI do all the doing because it's just not there yet, but we can have it help speed up the process, especially as small business owners who are doing our own email marketing, and also maybe, not as confident in our skills to strategize or come up with, the emails that we are sending. You can use it as, to help you come up with those ideas and maybe give you a path forward, so that you can, you don't block yourself mentally with all of the things that you could or should be doing.
Yeah, I think I wanted to add actually that I saw someone speak recently. His name's Mo Gawdat. I don't know if you've heard of him. He used to work for Google, and he's now basically an ambassador for AI and happiness to um, quite interesting topics that do come together. And he said that if you are not in the corporate world more so, and we'll relate this to small businesses in a moment, but in the corporate world, someone asked him a question in the audience to say, my manager isn't open to AI, what do I do? And he simply said, you wait until that manager is moved on and you get a new manager that is AI focused. And his take on that is that you absolutely must start to adopt AI to be relevant within the corporate world. And I actually do think that it's something you do need to start having an awareness of as a small business owner. Now, it can be overwhelming, where do you start in terms of AI and how to apply it? But I think the very kind of first step is actually just to start to be aware of how it's starting to shape businesses and how it's starting to help small business owners in their decision making, and where the pain points are in terms of time and what have you. So I guess in a kind of nutshell here, AI and its role in email marketing is about helping you do more with less time, do more with less resources. And it's not supposed to be something that's going to cause any kind of anxiety, but something that's going to help you do more with less, basically. And what we're seeing here is this shift towards AI-driven strategies. So very much about how AI is actually becoming part of people's marketing plans and strategies. And actually, what ways could this help your business? Well, if you are a small business owner and you're wondering, what could I possibly use AI for, particularly when it comes to email marketing? Well, there are so many different ways. You might already be using some of these without realizing. So, for example, send time optimization is a form of AI. So, what is send time optimization? You might be asking. Well, this is where in certain email platforms, your platform can determine the best time to send an individual an email based on their past behavior. So it's using AI. So think of AI not as, this kind of separate entity, but a way to use technology to make things easier for you, to give you more insights into decision making. So already certain platforms like Klaviyo are already taking on AI and using it. You might be using AI in other ways. Zoom, for example, has an AI summary now that essentially listens to your meeting and summarizes it back. So is it a surprise, Angie, that actually AI is already part of our lives?
No, not at all. And it's been a part of our lives for a while. It's just we're now getting more tools, like there's just more software that's being created out there to continue to make our lives easier as content creators, right? But you're absolutely right. There is a lot of AI inside of your email marketing platforms right now. Like Klaviyo also has a subject line assistant that you can paste your copy from your email into that, and it'll spit out, ideas for subject lines. Do I use those subject lines ideas? Very rarely, but does it spark ideas for me to kind of, you know, input like what I know is good for subject lines? Absolutely. So, and they also have a segment creation AI where like you can like input like what type of people you're looking for on your email list, and it'll create a segment for you of those people for you. So they're just like really good tools, like you said, to use to kind of gather data or just like quickly, create things for you that will just help you as create your emails or create your email strategy.
Yeah, 100%. It's no kind of surprise that platforms are already starting to integrate these AI tools. So think of it not as something separate, but as a kind of part of your decision making in determining what's best for your business. Um, as Angie mentioned, there's ways in which you can determine subject line or segments, but also things like A/B testing. So rather
Mm-hmm.
than you deciding, AI will help you make that decision. Um, so let's talk about how we actually implement AI and actually how do small business owners take on the implementation, because it all sounds great. Like I actually, as part of this event I went to with Mo Gelder, I saw a real life Amica, the robot who is freakishly human-like. She was blinking, looking at doing the side eye. She was answering questions. Um, and even though that felt like a glimpse into the future, AI is very much already not necessarily in robot form yet, but already in tools and platforms and products that we can use as small business owners.
Mm-hmm.
But where would you start, Angie, if like you were a small business owner and you didn't have any AI integrated into your business? Where would you start?
I think I would just start playing, right? Like, honestly, which is what I did, is, everybody was talking about ChatGPT. So I opened up a ChatGPT account and I just started asking it questions and just really started to get used to, the process of using ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is literally, you want to treat it like it's an assistant of your own, like it's a person. So you want to have a conversation with it. And I really started using it to help me come up with like email ideas, right? So one real easy, simple way to use it is to take copy that's already on your website, like, your About Us page or a blog that you wrote or something like that, and paste it into ChatGPT and say, hey, like, can you come up with 10 email ideas from this blog post or from this web page? And that's really how I started using it in my own email marketing, even for my clients, just to help me with idea creation, you know? So I think, and it was just very simple, you know, like, okay, like just a very simple prompt and, you know, pasting and then seeing what it came out with. And I think just even starting with something very simple like that, to be like, you know, pasting a piece of copy and being like, you know, telling it to, you know, help you in some way to take that copy and do something with it, is how I just first started using it. What about you?
I think that's a great shout, Angie, in terms of like starting really simple. And, you know, it can be very easy to get overwhelmed because you feel like everyone's using AI except you. And actually, ChatGPT or Copy AI, I use Copy AI for idea generation. It's essentially ChatGPT, but in a kind of plugged into a different platform that allows you to do a little bit more.
Mm.
But essentially, it allows you to not only look at subject lines, but you can improve copy that you've already written.
Hmm.
You might want to maybe look at the update your tone of voice, or there's a lot you can do with these platforms. And it's really important that you are open to AI and actually, you know, do take some time to experiment, because it might be that AI can help you in other ways in your business. For example, rather than on the copy side of your business, it might be that it can save you time in analyzing data, for example. I do use AI tools to help me just understand data a bit more. That's anonymized, of course. So there are different ways AI can help you, um, but ensuring that you are careful about data quality and the data that comes back. So ultimately, you are the expert in what you do, and whatever comes back with, you know, in terms of the prompts you've given AI, and prompting is so important when it comes to AI, must write the correct prompts. Whatever you put in, you get out. So the better quality the prompts, the better the answer. But
Yeah.
you
And
also, oh, go on.
no, I was just going to say, and with that, just know that that comes with time too.
Yeah,
Like, I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves to come up with a good prompt. But even just like again, starting that conversation as if this ChatGPT window was your assistant, and you're trying to get super clear to your assistant, like what would the steps and the direction that you would literally give someone if you were to give them a task. And typically, when you are talking with an assistant, it's a conversation, right? It's an ongoing thing, and they ask questions or whatever. So treat it as such that it is, be curious as you are starting this conversation or using ChatGPT or whatever it is, that you might not get it on the first try. But the cool thing with AI is you can continue to refine the output, and you can even give it feedback like that was close but not quite what I'm looking for. I've even asked ChatGPT, if I wanted you to like create 10 pieces of content for XYZ, what is the prompt that you would have me ask you in order to get X
mm,
output? Like you can even get
yeah,
meta with it, you know, in that
yeah,
way. And like
yeah,
ask AI, like, what do you need to know in order to create X for me? You know?
yeah. That's really cool. I think it can, like, yeah, it's a really good analogy to see AI as a person or an assistant to you in your business. So you can go back and refine. So
Yeah.
if it comes back with something you don't like, well, you can say this isn't quite the right tone of voice. Align the tone of voice to my website, and then put in your website, for example. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot you can train your tool to start really understanding your business and actually helping you. And it takes time to do that, and you
Hmm.
have to get the quality of the prompts right. But when it comes to email marketing, I mean, there's things you can do to help you come up with content ideas, subject lines, pre-headers. Um, there's so much you can use to help you with your email marketing, particularly around the more kind of creative side of email. But yes, some of the challenges you might encounter might be which tool. I mean, we've mentioned a
Yeah.
couple already.
Hmm.
One I actually really like that we haven't mentioned yet is Opus Clips, where you basically upload a recording, a video, YouTube, whatever it is, and AI basically cuts the video into short clips that you can use for social media. And it does that for free to a certain number of minutes. So you get X number of minutes a month, and then you upgrade to pay. That's really cool because it cuts it at the point in which this could be a really good soundbite. So Opus Clips is one of my favorites. How about yourself?
Yeah, I use Cast Magic a lot. I use it because at least with my clients, so I'm always using AI, Fathom, or that is also one that I use a lot, is a Fathom recorder on all of my meetings with my clients, because it gives me a transcript and it also gives me a summary of like to-dos, and it automatically also sends that to my clients after my meetings. So I don't have to do any call wrap up or like any outreach afterwards. Like, they get all the directions from the actual AI. And then
Yeah.
I typically take that transcript and like a lot of my stuff, I do a lot of questions for my clients, at least when I'm like creating strategies and, content creation and things like that. And so in a sense, I interview my clients, and a lot of times I'll take that interview, that transcription interview, and then I'll upload it into ChatGPT, and I'll be like, okay, like, tell me what are the main challenges of their customers, like what do their customers want, what are their products, whatever. And I get like a really good summary and overview of like the type of information I need in order to create really good pieces of copy or email ideas and like things like that. So what's really been clutch for me is any sort of AI that transcribes video in order to create content or refine your content creation. So with Cast Magic, I'll take like my clients' YouTube videos or the reels that they're posting online or any sort of like, or podcast episodes. I'll upload it. It'll give me like a transcript. And then I can also tell it to create content from these videos that they've already posted. So if you're a small business owner and you're putting out content on social media, AI can absolutely like speed up that process of repurposing that content for you, which is really key.
Yeah, and you're kind of it's almost like creating a virtual assistant through having AI, right? Because it's helping you scale your business without having to hire lots of new people. I don't think you'll ever get rid of the human touch. I do think that you need
No.
a human to oversee who's going to input the prompts, those kinds of things. And I do think you should retain an element of human in your tone of voice. Otherwise, we
Absolutely.
all will start to sound the same. And that's one of the things I think it can be really obvious when someone sees AI for their social media and it becomes really same.
Can we talk
Um,
about that a little bit?
yeah, of course.
Because I have clients that, obviously I'm like, okay, like, we can have AI help us with subject lines and we can have AI help us with this. And then when they've sent an email, like I can spot an AI chat GPT subject line from a mile away. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
honestly the output, it's okay. It's not the standards that I would want you to have for yourself in a subject line. So I think it is really important not to go with what AI always outputs and to remember, like, okay, a good subject line, you want it to be like 5 to 7 words. You want it to be a hook. You want it to be captivating. And AI and you want it to have some sort of personality, right? You're talking about brand voice, right?
Hmm.
AI is the outputs right now are not giving you like those baseline things that you need for subject lines, but it can give you a good idea of like how to create one, right?
Yeah, and I think that AI will catch up, and I do
It
think
will
that eventually,
eventually.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've met a few people that are working on AI tools that completely get your tone of voice, and I think we're in the early stage of that. The
Yes,
early
but it's
stages.
not there yet.
not there yet. And I think for now, use AI as an assistant to your business, but don't replace, like, don't completely outsource to AI. Like, you want to continue to have a tone of voice that is uniquely you, until AI becomes super efficient at figuring that out. So yeah, one of the watch outs from us is continue to use and embrace AI, but continue to have a human element to your comms through email or other social or other channels.
The best
Um,
the best copywriting still comes from a human. Like the best copywriting and pieces of writing in general still come from your unique perspective and those stories that you have inside of yourself that only your memory can retain. And you telling that story is still going to be way more special and connect way more with people than something an AI can come up with. So just like keep that in mind that, yeah, it's good to help you with ideas, but actually like doing the writing, like the magic still is inside of you, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think, use it for inspiration, but when it comes, like we get into the world of plagiarism, and the thing that also I think is a watch out is don't put like personal data into your AI, because, that just personally I wouldn't do it, because that data is being shared with the AI gods, and you want to kind of have some privacy around the data. Anything you're kind of plugging in, just make sure it isn't confidential or isn't, particularly if you're doing anything for your own business or for your clients, it shouldn't be, confidential or kind of anything linked to GDPR. So we do want you to be aware of that. Um, just to touch on budget friendly recommendations. So there might be this perception that AI is expensive, and actually, we've mentioned a few tools here. I mean, I don't know, Cast Magic, Angie, is that free or is there like a subscription to that?
Which one? Cast Magic?
Yeah.
No, that definitely costs I think it's like $40 a month. I think it really depends on, how you use AI, right? So, I think it's okay to invest in some AI that really 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 makes sense for you, you know? And so the good thing about Cast Magic is I think you can test it out for a month for free, and I think that's a lot with these AI tools. They usually give you some sort of, month free or whatever deal. And I would definitely sign up for one that sounds like good to you, but really, you know, just be cognizant of how much you actually use it and then go with the ones. And then you can also delete it or not, not move forward with it or whatever, take your account off. So that's also an option. But the thing I like about them is they usually are like $20 a month or like something very accessible that you can at least try and, see if you actually do use it.
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, like I think it's all about mindset and actually being open to trying and experimenting with
Yeah.
AI.
Hmm.
So really, I guess in summary, like there are so many different ways AI can help your business, but starting off slow and small to
Yeah.
begin with, don't get overwhelmed because there's a lot out there. Even if you just create a free ChatGPT account and play with it, start
Hmm.
experimenting with prompts. But also taking a step back and thinking about your business and where the biggest kind of time, um, resources are, like what is taking the most amount of time for you, particularly within your marketing. What can AI help with? I think we've discussed some of the key points today with email marketing, so subject line ideation, content content ideas, um, coming up with suggestions on how to maybe look at ways to come up with social media ideas. There's lots of different ways that you can use AI. Even just giving you a different perspective on your own copy is really helpful as well. Um, there's just so many opportunities, and I think as a small business owner, we need to be careful not to be so stuck on our day to day that we don't embrace the technology that is moving very, very quickly around us. Um, and I guess then looking at kind of the AI emerging trends for small businesses, I do, going back to that Mo Gawdat point, I do agree with him that I do think eventually you'll be left behind if you're not
Yeah,
embracing some form of AI. Do you
I
agree?
agree. Oh, absolutely, 100%. Like, just the time that it can save for you as a small business owner is amazing, you know? And so the output of us as small business owners or small businesses is, you know, just going to get more and more. The more that we embrace AI, the more that we are able to do, the more content we're able to make. And so those businesses that are going to embrace AI are going to be able to, you know, put out more content and send more emails and just kind of give themselves a leg up on what they're able to accomplish. So, you know, just for that, I think it's really important to embrace.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I feel like actually, you know, this week, funnily enough, I helped a client, well, sorry, last week, time is flying by. I helped a client interview to start building their team. And this was an email marketing specialist, and this person had AI all over their CV. So you can
Yeah.
see now that AI is becoming almost a kind of unspoken requirement that you understand AI. And when we talk about understanding AI, you know, it is really just about understanding those prompts and how to start helping
Yeah.
your
It's
business
really just,
accelerate.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's really just experimenting.
don't overthink it. Just
Mhm.
start trying and playing with it through ChatGPT and some of the tools we mentioned today.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's a good thing for your business. It can help you accelerate and do more with less.
Yeah.
Think of it as a way to potentially increase your reach, increase your effort without huge costs. So there's definitely massive advantages to your business, and you know we want you to be staying ahead of the curve. So we encourage you to give it a go if you haven't already. And if you're already using AI, we'd love to hear, you know, your thoughts. How have you used AI to help your email marketing efforts? So do get in touch with us. Our details are in the show notes. Anything else, Angie, you wanted to mention on AI before we wrap up?
I think that's really it. I would just love to hear how other businesses are using AI so that we can continue to help each other, right? Because the block of AI is just like we don't know what we don't know, right? So we can only
Yeah.
use AI like to achieve whatever it is that we think it can achieve. Whereas like it is kind of limitless in this way. So if we can just like help each other out to be like, oh, I use this program or I use it this way and I use it this way, that's going to help you grow and figure out how to use it best for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. The potential is huge. And I think even if you've done nothing so far, don't feel behind. It's very easy to get started. And for
Yeah.
those of you already using AI, like I said, we'd love to hear how you're getting on. Well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.
You've just listened to Females Across the Pond and Beyond podcast with your hosts, Clara and Angie. If you like our content, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on the platform of your choice. Is there something you want to hear about for our next episode? Email us at femalesacrossthepond@gmail.com to let us know. Until next time.